Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you enjoyed that new intro. It's 2021, new year. I figured a new look. And speaking of new looks, this is not part of it. Okay, I have purple curtains in my intro, in my office, which I really need to change. And then it causes this, and the sun literally baking on me. That's why I don't like streaming at this time. But apparently, President is going to give a bit of a speech for ANC's birthday, and and I figured, hey, I'm gonna troll. So I got some surprises in store for you guys. It's very small things, very small. But before I bring up the president, or before we look at, because I'm looking at the the YouTube page where he's supposed to address. He still is not on yet, so don't worry. But I thought very quickly at the beginning here, ladies and gentlemen, please, okay? I have a new clothing line. I call it Rebel. All right, it's Rebel storeza.com. Go check it out. Links are in the description below. And right now, today, only for today, because it's hashtag Voetsek ANC, we're doing a bit of a special 20% off the hashtag Voetsek ANC shirts. Again, go to the video description. You will find links to both of these shirts provided in the video description, and the promo code that you can use at the checkout to get that 20% off. We're shipping nationwide, and this is just so you guys know, our official launch is on the 11th, which is Monday. So you will get, if you order now, you get to take advantage of the special, and the shirt should be delivered to you by the end of January max. Probably get them before then, but end of January maximum, 25th, something like that. So put in your orders, get your shirts. These shirts are awesome. I personally like the green one that's right there, which is this one. But this one's also good. This is new today. This one is a new one today. Go check it out. Actually, maybe I can show it to you very quickly. Let's see here. So this is like really one of my favorites right now. Like, it is really cool. All right, so there you go. It's called Learn to Read Japanese. And if you read there, it says, reading Japanese is really easy. You just need to turn your head sideways, and then you guys can check that out. So right now, that's 20% off. I got different sizes as well available. So please go check that out. Again, all the links in the descriptions below. Okay. So, all right. So like I said, I got a bit of surprises for you. We're going to troll the president while he's giving his little speech. As I said, no movement as of yet. And for those of you that are tuning in, yes, I know I'm very pink. Hopefully when the sun goes down, the sun shines right in here. All right. So hopefully when the sun is gone, because when the sun's gone in the evening, it looks normal. In the evening, this is all fine. Just bear with me. Excuse the color, okay? I got to get normal curtains. But maybe some of you want to get some normal curtains. Please don't be shy to super chat. Be greatly appreciated. You support me, you support this channel. Don't forget, you can also become a member. All right, I've changed that. It's now $59.99 to become a member. You support me monthly, please. I am working on a cheaper rate, but that won't be accessed through YouTube. But I will keep you guys updated. Like I said, 2021 changing along this channel. Got a new logo, got a new intro, and new things are to come. New shows are coming as well. Very excited. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I got a lot of great content for you. Please like this video. Speaking of liking videos, let's have a look at YouTube, because I I tweeted this earlier, right? So actually, maybe I should. No. I'll start with this. Here it is. Okay, there we go. So this is where we're gonna watch El Presidente, right? As you can see, is waiting for ENCA. So they say that he's going to come out or speak to us on at 7 o'clock. We'll see if that's really true. Notice the dislikes. Wait, let me contribute. There we go. This is amazing. This is awesome. So I put out a tweet earlier, right? So I came and I saw this stream earlier, and at the time it was like 5 likes and 7 dislikes. So I tweeted that, right? I said, "Haha, look, 2 hours before he's supposed to go on, and there's already more dislikes than there are likes." And I was like, "Hey, let's contribute," And I left the link, and then people just went crazy on Twitter. They just started going. I was like, "Hey, why not get it to 1,000, right? Let's see if we can get 1,000 dislikes before the president goes on." We're on 229 dislikes. He's set to go on in 20 minutes. We may not hit that target, but if you can find me on Twitter and you can find that post, please contribute your dislike. I think that's really, really cool. All right, so let me see what's going on in the chats. I'm on Chris's stream on my laptop and waiting for this on my phone. Okay. Asking. Oh! They're starting with a prayer. Hold on. I don't know if you guys want to listen to this. It's terrible.
Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. O Lord, you are the giver of life. You are the remover of pains and sorrows. You are the bestower of happiness. You are the creator of this universe.
You guys still hear it? All right, now you guys shouldn't hear it. All right, so I'm listening because like it's kind of weird, not weird, but it's like I don't know, like probably only want to see the president go on. So they're just praying. As soon as he goes on, I will put it up. Different new intro, dig the new intro rather. If this is trolling session, maybe we need drinking rules at the press address. Speaking of drinking, Bradley, I think you read my mind. It's one though. I'm just having one. I'm gonna try and pace myself. So yeah. Anyway. We can complain all we want about ANC. Who are you going to vote for? Something DA and another EFF. The ANC is bad. Okay, Sunshine. Appropriate name. Look, there's a lot of there's a lot more parties that you can vote for. Definitely. You do not have to vote for any of those 3 that you mentioned now. But a vote is definitely important regardless. Everybody should be voting, because not voting doesn't help either. So, yeah. Okay, now there's some I don't want to say random guy. I just don't know who he is. I guess there's like some kind of like, what do you call, lineup. So there's still 15 minutes until the president is scheduled to go on. So let's chat among ourselves. What do you think the president is going to say? Obviously, he's not going to say anything about the regulations of the lockdown, but I wonder how he's going to try and paint the ANC this time. Maybe. Yeah. So anyway, I have it playing in the background. As soon as the president goes on, I can switch very quickly and put him on. How are you guys doing? How is your Friday? Maybe we will play a drinking game. I want to keep this. So yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, link to those shirts in the description below. Please go check it out. Yes, I know I'm pink. I explained this already. Just bear with it, people. As soon as the sun goes away, which will hopefully be around 7, things will change. By the way, please go and share the link to this live stream across the board on social media, everywhere. Please. I actually want to do it myself very quickly. Because yeah, let's get some people tuning in, man. Let me just see here. Okay. Someone else gave it. I think there's like a lot of different people that are praying at the moment. Yeah, there is a Muslim prayer happening now. So it seems like they're going through all the different religious prayers. Just before the president goes on. Right. Yeah, so I'm looking at the tweets. A lot of people have been telling people to go onto NCA, dislike it. So that's quite funny. Wow, there's like a lot. That's pretty cool though. I just want to comment on here. Just put that there. Okay. And yeah. Alrighty. Yes, please go share on social media, everything. Good evening, Raman. Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you, Bradley, for bringing that to my attention. I made a mistake in my haste of making that little overlay. I misspelled my own URL. Yes, shame on me. Shame on me. But the links in the description of the video are correct. So go there, just go there, get the shirts. I don't have time now to quickly crop that section out. So yeah. Yeah, it's in the description, guys. Go check it out. Go get a Voetsek ANC shirt, please. 20% off today alone, because it's the ANC's birthday. Happy birthday, ANC. Happy birthday. So yeah, they're still praying. So as soon as they're done with that, I will switch over. I don't know if there's anyone other than ECA that's broadcasting this. I want to keep on drinking, and I don't want to touch my drink yet. So yeah. Don't worry, got my correction wrong too. It's all right. But thank you, Bradley. Thank you. And guys, come on, don't be shy with the super chats. Don't make me sound like Ronaldo, please. All right. But I gotta admit, January has been quite dry at the moment. So, 10 Rand. 10 Rand. Just if everyone gives 10 Rand, I'll make 100 Rand right now. That's awesome. Yeah. That is a good question. We shall see. I doubt it because it's virtual and it seems like everybody is inside in their own house. So who knows? Maybe there is in their own house, but I doubt they will. Show that. Thank you, Lars. Sorry, I was busy reading that comment. He says you can buy a clip-on polarized filter for cell phone, laptop camera. Take a look. Okay, cool. I'll look into it. This is a webcam, though, like a separate webcam. It's not on my actual laptop. But yeah, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, like I tend not to stream during this time because of this. It's weird. I hate it. So yeah, I look sick. All right. I want the president to come on, man. Damn it. So that I can show you guys what I got planned. Okay, now it's the Christian prayer. Yes. $109 years. I mean, in fairness, that's a freaking long time. That's over a century, guys. 109 years. Is that even real? Is that even true? Did someone fact check that? Has the ANC really been around for 109 years? I feel like that's not true. Thank you so much, Bradley. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 14 Rand super chat. See, if everybody just does 14 Rand, I'm a happy camper. Just 14 Rand. That's all it is. Thank you, Bradley, so much for the super chat. It's greatly appreciated. I haven't heard that yet. Amen, a woman. No one said that yet. I think they're all learned from that embarrassing U.S. congressman. What a joke. All right, so there at the Bradley saying ANC was founded on the 8th of January, 1912. Wow, 1912. Jeez. Yeah, they're saying now they pray for peace, they pray for unity in the ANC. Anybody who still has hope with the ANC is deeply mistaken. Anyone who thinks that the ANC is somehow going to fix itself is just delusional. Sorry, but 26 years in power. Look at this country. Just look around you. Only legalized in 1990. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to look into that. That's a very interesting thing. All right, so 8 minutes until the president is supposedly going to speak to us. Let's see what happens. And the sun is still... Okay, now it is I know this guy, I just can't remember his name. Oh man, the connection is bad. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, but I know you guys can't hear it. I'm guessing you guys can't hear it, right? Let me do this rather. Okay. Just so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I know you guys can't hear it. I've muted it. I don't know if you guys want to hear it. I'm worried about the connection. I'm going to quickly see if there is maybe someone else broadcasting this, because ENCA's connection seems a bit weak. Okay, so there's News 24. All right. Okay, cool. Thank you, Yanni. I will switch. I'll just go to SABC on my side. I looked at them earlier, but I mean, I didn't see anything. So let me just remove this quickly. Don't worry, the president has not. SABC streams are always like seem somewhat stable from what I've noticed. Wow. Okay. I don't know who this guy is. Like, I know him, but I can't remember his name. Rookie mistake. There we go.
Alliance in particular. It is a alliance struggle, alliance of struggle and reconstruction formed by the progressive trade union movement, first SACTU, and now COSATU.
You know, you can comment in the chats, right?
Party,
Just saying.
in the spirit of the Revolution Alliance, I call on the General Secretary of COSATU, Comrade Brigadier Rijali, to read the message from organized workers. Thank you very much. Comrade, over to you.
Program Director, the President of the African National Congress, and the entire leadership, members of the ANC, NEC, leadership of the party, and the Central Committee of the SACP, leadership of SATU, and the members of the
I never said it was
Central Executive Committee, led by Comrade Zingiswalusi. On behalf of the Central
I'm honestly just waiting for the president.
And its 1.7 million members.
I'm guessing these are all introductories and stuff like that.
The African National Congress on reaching such a significant milestone of 109 years.
If I lower the volume here, does it lower on your side too?
This is an important
just curious.
That tells the evolution of the African story. The ANC represents an inspiring African story of revolution, heroism, and liberation. This year, we are celebrating under difficult conditions, where a deadly virus is
I just noticed something
and destroying lives and livelihoods. As usual, the people
even on SABC, the dislikes are more.
This is a country
The That is funny.
Under this
That
difficult
funny.
time, the ANC as the leader of the society
Not as much as the other ones, but yeah.
called to play its historical role of leading during the difficult
All right. So what I'm gonna do is leave this guy
the
here on the
ANC
side so you guys can also
up
see
to the task of keeping united
what's going on.
and helping
I'm going to try and lower this as much as I can without completely muting him.
for this to happen.
There we go. It's like in the distance now. So yeah, the comment section in ENCA is disabled, obviously, because they get a lot of flack, I'm assuming. Go to SABC, tell them to join this stream. It will be fun as soon as the president comes on. I've got some surprises. But let me also take a moment to say hi to Robin, Mr. Punisher, Yanni, Bradley, Pet Zoo Film Crew, Lars Solis, Synchronized, Gentle Inflatables. It's not Cyril's birthday, Gentle. It is the ANC's birthday. They turned 109. What's happening? Okay, no. I guess this is the MC of the show. I don't know what's going on. He's supposed to start now.
Which is younger brother, it was 9 years after the death of the ANC. Actually, to remind everybody, that the party is today 100 years. We will soon be hearing about the need to celebrate the centenary of the ANC. It played a critical role in Westminster national studies.
I left a comment on SABC. Thank you. I hope you told them to come to check this out. I have a feeling this might go a little bit over time. So yeah, if I look like this, you guys, does it look like I'm looking at the thing? No, it's this way. Sorry.
The ANC has played an important role in uniting the colonial and apartheid view and in rebuilding and strengthening.
For those of you who might be tuning in right now, I will be adjusting the volume and all that once the president is actually on and talking. Got some surprises, very small things. I hope will give you guys a bit of a chuckle. Trolling the president today, listening to what he has to say about the ANC's birthday, 109. I can't believe it. And yeah, please guys go and tell people to come join us on this stream. Hopefully, hopefully the president will start soon, because they said 7, but maybe they're running a bit behind time. And again, I know about the pink. I am looking really discolored right now. Let me see if I can fix it. This guy looks like Cyril's dad, by the way. Just saying.
Conferences and general councils as battleground factions, nor should we begin to give names and surnames to resolutions of them when implemented, as if these were taken to target.
Hello. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the color here. Don't know what's going on.
Because of this deadly virus. The SACP wishes to express its heartfelt condolences to all the families that lost their loved ones because of COVID-19. As people, we need to unleash our entire capacity to bring COVID-19 under control and stop any further loss of life. Therefore, the SACP
Well, ain't that annoying? I just zoomed into myself. Okay, sorry guys.
December 2020. We call upon every person, every family and community of Africa to strictly adhere to the COVID-19 prevention protocols. SACP also wishes to thank all the frontline workers for their commitment, including putting
As long as this thing is like this, it's going to be a problem.
The SACP also calls upon the ANC to lead the broad front of progressive organizations to unite our people to fight COVID-19. So should this broad front also lead the effort for the equitable provision vaccine COVID-19. The SACP commits to be part of this effort. Its own slogan for our centenary year this year: place truth before profits. There must be no space for corruption and state old and new in
It will adjust.
the COVID-19 vaccine. So we must all intend the struggle for vaccine provision, not
Wait, hold on. I actually want to hear what this guy's saying.
opportunity, but as a common good. COVID-19 has emerged in the midst of existing global and domestic capitalist crises, thus further deepening and entrenching inequality, poverty, and employment. These systemic problems are particularly acute in developing and poor countries. It is for this reason that the struggle against COVID-19 must be waged together with the struggle for economic reconstruction and development. As the SACP, we support the thrust of the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Program government, as announced by President Ramaphosa. However, the two immediate threats to the success of this program would be the neoliberal austerity agenda and state capture corruption networks. The SACP also wishes to use this occasion to call for the changing of the measures for economic progress as a country. We must develop economic indicators on how much progress we are making in reducing poverty, inequality, and unemployment, rather than just talking about GDP generally. It is indeed possible, and has actually happened in the past, that GDP can grow, but at the same time, as poverty, inequality, and unemployment worsens. Let us also use this occasion to commit to intensify the struggle against gender-based violence, another pandemic that is ravaging our country. We also welcome the ANC NEC decision that no candidate involved in gender-based violence will be allowed to be an ANC-wide proportional representation candidate.
Didn't you release the one ANC member recently?
The SACP has also identified climate change as
Even
another
though-
threat that must be collectively taken by our alliance and society as a whole. This challenge is closely related to the necessity to combat ecological damage and environmental degradation, as these are a threat to both lives and livelihoods. The SACP has resolved for its centenary program to identify all environmental hotspots in the country and mobilize.
Sorry, but like, okay, so earlier he was talking about like how, you know, the virus has caused this like terrible situation for the economy, and the economy suffering because of the virus and all that stuff. And that kind of pissed me off because we were down with junk status before the virus, before this pandemic, before like literally the day that we went into lockdown at the end of March. We were downgraded, and we've been downgraded again and again and again. It's not just the virus. I mean, yes, of course, the virus did have an impact on the economy, but trust me, we would have been fine had the ANC not looted the country in the past, what, 5-10 years? Please. Thank you so much, Peter Sawanga. Look who is alive. I haven't seen Peter in such a while. Dude, it's good to see that you're still alive. Peter, thank you so much for the 35 super chat. It's greatly appreciated. And 3 cheers for Joe Hectic 10 over here. Yes. It's my curtains. It is my curtains. Yeah.
Let me hand over to you, and I'm not coming back. Let us welcome.
Did he? Yeah, pretty
Thank
much.
you very much.
Is this him? Yes. Okay, here we go.
National Chairperson of the African National Congress, Comrade Gwe Mantashe, Deputy President David Abede Mabuza, Essentia, officials of the African National Congress, members of the National Executive Committee, leaders of our leagues, leadership of the Alliance, our religious leaders who prayed for these proceedings, our traditional leaders, fraternal organizations participating in these proceedings,
The connection
comrades,
not too good.
members of the African National Congress, and supporters of our movement participating in these proceedings.
No, that's why they're adjusting.
Comrades, members of the African National Congress, and indeed supporters of our movement, the people of South Africa. Nearly half a century has passed since the ANC in exile, through its National Executive
And that
Committee,
isn't from me.
issued the first January 8th statement. It was a time of great upheaval. The people of our country were suffering under a repressive regime. The liberation movements were banned, and our leaders were imprisoned, banished, and exiled. And yet, even without being allowed to gather or to organize, and without our leaders being in their midst, the message of the ANC always found its way to our people on January the 8th. That message gave our people strength, hope, and courage. Today, we deliver the message of the National Executive Committee on January 8th at a time of great upheaval in our country and across the world. The ANC celebrates 109 years since its founding, under the shadow of a global pandemic that has led to great suffering and loss of life. A pandemic that has severely damaged our economy and has profoundly changed how we lead our lives. None of the traditional activities we hold, usually on this day, to mark the birth of our movement are taking place this year. Due to the necessary restrictions that are in place to contain the spread of the virus and the need at this time to exercise, we are not undertaking our traditional door-to-door engagements, our usual community meetings, and our usual January 8th rallies. And yet, even as we are unable to gather in our numbers, even as the leadership of the ANC is unable to be with you in person, the message of the African National Congress lives in the hearts and the minds of our people. It is a message that gives inspiration and encouragement to our members, supporters, and many others across the nation. The people of this country have entrusted the ANC with the responsibility to work with them in building a better life for all. Over the course of its history, the ANC has lived up to this responsibility. It led the heroic struggle of the people of South Africa against apartheid, resulting in the country's first democratic elections and the adoption of a democratic constitution. In government, the ANC led the reconstruction of our society from the ashes of apartheid rule. We worked together with the people to expand access to housing, electricity, water and sanitation, and social infrastructure for millions of our people. We expanded access to education and healthcare. Prior to the onset of the global financial crisis, our policies contributed to the revival of our economy, the creation of millions of new jobs, the stabilization of our public finances, and the reduction of poverty. It was these achievements that earned the ANC the confidence and trust of the people of our country. The trust that our people have invested in us should never be taken for granted. We know that to fulfill our role and discharge our responsibility, we must renew and rebuild our movement and ensure that it remains true to its founding values and principles. The values on which this movement was founded are integrity, honesty, tolerance, respect, and above all, service to our people. While important progress has been made in the renewal and rebuilding of the ANC since the 54th National Conference, there is still much to be done. The organization has been weakened by corruption, resistance to renewal, and controversies involving ANC leaders. These problems have widened the social distance between the ANC and the people of our country. At the same time, there is a danger that internal conflicts can consume us and detract from the very real work we need to do to unite and transform our society. For over a century, the ANC has sought to fulfill its historic mission to build a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa. In the face of the great challenges before us, it is more important than ever that we keep our sights firmly on this mission. In this year of 2021, our foremost priorities as the African National Congress are, firstly, to act together with all South Africans to defeat coronavirus, the enemy that confronts us. Secondly, to place our economy on a path of renewal and recovery. Thirdly, to forge with the fundamental renewal of the African National Congress. Fourthly, we must work to build a better Africa and a better world. As a movement, we continue to draw strength and encouragement from the great struggles fought by those who came before us. This year marks the 150th anniversary of the birth of one of South Africa's most remarkable and pioneering leaders, Charlotte Manya Maxeke. She was the first Black South African woman to obtain a science degree. She was a delegate to the ANC's founding conference in 1912 and was a founder of the Bantu Women's League, a forerunner to the ANC Women's League. She made an exceptional contribution to the struggle for liberation of women in South Africa and challenged contemporary attitudes about the place of women in politics in society, and in the economy. She was a fearless leader who organized the first defiance campaign against the past system, mobilizing women to burn their passes in defiance of unjust rule. She organized farm workers and domestic workers and dedicated her life to improving the conditions under which African women lived. This year also marks the centenary of the South African Communist Party. Since its formation in 1921, the Communist Party has been a dependable ally, not only of our movement, but of the oppressed and exploited people of South Africa. It has been at the forefront of the struggle against racial discrimination and capitalist exploitation. The Communist Party has also played a critical role in the ideological development of the liberation movement. As we celebrate this great milestone alongside our alliance partner, we reaffirm our shared commitment to the achievement of a national democratic society. Comrades and friends, the coronavirus pandemic has deepened poverty and unemployment in our society. The pandemic has brought into sharper focus the fault lines of inequality, income deprivation, asset poverty, and lack of skills and lack of economic opportunities amongst the majority of our people. The economy has contracted sharply. Around 2 million jobs have been lost, and many more people have fallen below the poverty line. Without the economic and social relief measures that the government put in place, and without the urgent interventions to strengthen our public health care facilities, the situation could have been far worse. Throughout the country, communities are still confronted by high rates of crime, violence, and other social problems, such as drug and alcohol abuse. The second pandemic in our country, that of violence against women and children, continues to plague our society. Ending gender-based violence in all its forms is therefore integral to the social and economic progress of our nation. While great progress has been made since the advent of democracy, there are many areas that suffer from a lack of housing, access to electricity, water and sanitation, and social infrastructure. This is due both to the huge disparities of our past and to ongoing weaknesses in governance, capacity, financial management within the different spheres of government. Of our economy must address the fundamental inequalities and exclusion that continue to characterize our society. To bring about this change, we need a radical program of action that is restorative, that rebuilds, and that is transformative. Transformation is not only a fundamental obligation enshrined in our country's constitution, it is a national imperative. It is also necessary if our economy is to benefit from the creativity, the talents, the energy, and the skills of all South Africans. The ANC has been given the mandate by our people to be the governing party in most of the municipalities in our country, particularly in 8 provincial governments as well, and in the national government. With governance comes great responsibility. The ANC must win public confidence by progressively meeting the needs of the people, accounting to communities, deploying the most capable cadres to positions of responsibility, managing public resources ethically, and acknowledging our weaknesses. This is the message that every ANC member should take to heart in 2021 as our country holds the 6th local government elections since democracy. We have to account to the people on the state of our municipalities, many of which are facing deep challenges with respect to governance, stability, service delivery, and financial management. We must tackle the apartheid legacy of inequality and severe infrastructure backlogs at a local level and the persistent problem of available and unviable municipalities that have weak revenue bases. It is the ANC that must heed the cries of our people for a decent quality of life and must rid government structures of corruption, cronyism, as well as patronage. In all areas, the ANC has to demonstrate that we are taking real steps to resolve the problems which our people face. Let us not be paralyzed by the complacency of incumbency. In this, the 27th year of democracy, the ANC cannot campaign on a platform that simply recounts the glories of the past. Our people now want to hear what the ANC is going to do concretely to improve their lives. They want to see us in action, serving their interests and no other interests. Despite our many challenges, there is great cause for optimism. And in this, we know we can count on the people of South Africa who believe in the ANC, who support the ANC, and who have entrusted the ANC with the responsibility to change our society for the better. It is the resilience and courage of the people of our country that has taken us through the most difficult of years. It is the people of South Africa who continue to stand by us, united and determined, as we begin.
Funny, weren't you blaming the people last week or the week before?
Comrades and friends, our foremost
For not being
immediate
responsible.
priority in 2021 is to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus is ever present and it threatens the health and well-being of everyone in our country. It threatens the livelihoods and undermines our efforts to rebuild the economy and create jobs. South Africa is in the midst of a second wave that could prove deadlier than the first unless we all play our part to curb and defeat this virus. We have to intensify our efforts to promote responsible behavior amongst us, such as physical distancing, washing or sanitizing our hands, wearing face masks appropriately, and adhering to other protocols. We will continue to strengthen our health system and sustain community health interventions such as mass screening, testing, and tracing. We will, within our country's means, continue to provide social support to the vulnerable and economic support to businesses and workers in distress. To overcome COVID-19, we are preparing to implement a mass vaccination program that reaches all South Africans as appropriate quantities of an effective and suitable vaccine are procured. This program will initially prioritize health workers and other frontline personnel such as teachers, the police, men and women, elderly, and people with comorbidities. We will progressively reach all South Africans through a mass vaccination campaign to achieve herd immunity and prevent ongoing transmission. We need to counter the spread of disinformation relating to COVID-19 and unfounded conspiracy theories about the virus in terms of its treatment and the development of vaccines. Above all, as we have done, we must continue to work together as a united nation to confront the grave coronavirus threat that faces our people. Our focus throughout must be on saving lives and protecting livelihoods. Our second priority for 2021 is economic recovery. We have to achieve higher levels of economic growth and investment. We have to create jobs and bring more Black South Africans, women and youth in the mainstream of economic activity. In the relief phase of our social and economic response to the pandemic, we put in place a number of emergency economic interventions. We are now in the phase of rebuilding, and our focus is on aggressively implementing the economic reconstruction and recovery plan that was announced last year. We are undertaking large-scale public investment in key sectors such as energy, water and sanitation, roads and bridges, human settlements, health and education, digital infrastructure, and public transport. We're promoting investment in sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, mining, and tourism. We are providing support to small-scale manufacturers and township and rural entrepreneurs. Our emphasis is on localization so that South African businesses benefit from all areas of economic activity. We have begun the process of rolling out public employment programs that will offer greater work opportunities, especially for women, youth, persons with disabilities, and other marginalized groups in our society. The ANC is immensely encouraged by the outcomes of the third South African Investment Conference that took place late last year. Affirmation that the investor community appreciates our country as a dependable investment destination. The ANC government will, in the year ahead, focus on building new electricity generation and transmission capacity. In the process, it will also create jobs. The easing of regulations for electricity self-generation by firms and municipalities will unlock significant investment and job creation potential. There has been progress in policy reform in a number of other areas. In the mining sector, an exploration strategy is being finalized in consultation with stakeholders. Costs and boosting the operation of medium enterprises, cooperatives.
That's them only.
The ANC is encouraged that there is consensus at the NELEC level on the actions that are needed to drive our country's economic reconstruction and recovery. A critical element of success in implementing them is the reform of the state machinery so that we can enhance the capability of our state. The development model aligns the work of the 3 spheres of government, ensuring that planning and implementation are integrated and actively involve all stakeholders in our society. Spheres of government, ensuring that planning and implementation are integrated and actively involve all the stakeholders in our society. Through this model, we are working to bring all parts of government closer to where people live and work. The success of our economic recovery relies in large measure on the repurposing of state-owned enterprises to more and sustainably fulfill their developmental mandates. As we begin 2021, the ANC renews its commitment to forge ahead with building an ethical, capable, and developmental state that can drive the economic recovery that we so need. It is a commitment to managing our country's economy and public finances in a sustainable manner so that we can retain our country's policy sovereignty and our ability to shape our own destiny as South Africans. In the course of this year, we will intensify all measures to improve the lives of the poor. The social relief measures introduced by government in April last year, including the temporary top-up of social grants and special COVID-19 grant for unemployed people, proved vital in supporting the poor at their time of greatest vulnerability. As these emergency measures come to an end because of our limited resources, we need to intensify other poverty alleviation measures. This year, the ANC government and broader society will need to continue discussion on the desirability and the viability of a basic income grant to provide a social safety net to poor people in our country. Through our massive infrastructure and public employment programs, we will accelerate the provision of electricity, water, sanitation, and other services to those South Africans who still do not have them. The COVID-19 pandemic has underscored the need to accelerate the process towards the establishment of the national health insurance, which will reduce the huge inequalities and inefficiencies in our health system. Education was severely disrupted by the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, and the disease will continue to pose challenges for effective schooling in the year ahead. It is a testament to the determination of educators, lecturers, administrators, learners, students, and parents that much of the academic year was recovered. It is this determination that is needed as we pursue a skills revolution. This requires that we overcome the fundamental challenge of persistent inequality in all facets of our education system. We need to work harder to ensure that schools in our townships, in our rural areas, are better resourced, that all schools meet the basic infrastructure standards, and that poor and middle-income students and learners receive the financial support they need to access and remain in tertiary education. It is the right of every South African woman, man, and child to live in safety, secure from crime and violence. It is also a prerequisite for inclusive economic and social development. We welcome the progress that has been made in combating gangsterism and organized crime, but these efforts need to be stepped up much more significantly. The ANC must continue to be at the forefront of the fight against gender-based violence and femicide. We commend the work done in particular.
Yeah, you're just saying what everybody wants to hear.
And our alliance partners and a number of women's organizations in consistently campaigning.
Don't trust you.
We remain firm that any of our members who are found guilty of such crimes have no place in our movement. There is only one place where they belong, in jail. We must be more direct in our efforts to reduce alcohol and substance abuse, which are major contributing factors in the perpetration of violence. The temporary restrictions that were placed on the availability of alcohol under the state of disaster regulations have demonstrated how abuse of alcohol fuels violence, trauma, and reckless behavior, and places a burden on our health services. Take measures to reduce the abuse of alcohol through a combination of legislative and other measures and community mobilization. We're making progress in restoring the credibility and integrity of government. It's being taken against those who are implicated in acts of crime and corruption. Across all parts of society, we must continue to provide all the necessary support to our law enforcement agencies so that they can investigate thoroughly and prosecute effectively without any fear, any favor, or prejudice. We are going to intensify our efforts to end state capture in all its forms. One of the resolutions of our 54th National Conference was to support the establishment of a commission into state capture. We need to ensure that the findings and recommendations of the Zondo Commission are used to ensure that such activities are never allowed to happen again. The struggle to ensure that the land is shared amongst those who work it remains a historical and economic imperative. Land reform is central to meeting the aspirations of the Freedom Charter and to redressing the wrongs of the past. During the course of this year, we expect Parliament to approve an amendment to Section 25 of our Constitution, clearly outlining the circumstances in which land may be expropriated without compensation.
Here we
This
go,
will give
guys.
effect to an important resolution of our 54th National Conference and will contribute to the acceleration of land reform in our country.
Remember,
This needs to take place alongside a comprehensive land reform program
the Communist
that,
Party is
amongst other
their
things,
ally.
draws on long-standing ANC resolutions and on the recommendation of the Presidential Advisory Panel on Land Reform and Agriculture. We will strengthen existing policies to ensure fair and equitable redistribution of land. This year, a focus will also be on resolving security of tenure that affects millions of our people and on speeding up the outstanding claims of labor tenants. The redistribution of land will be done in a manner that, as our conference resolved, promotes economic growth and sustains food security. Critical in this regard will be our focus on effective support to those who have acquired agricultural land. This will help to redress asset poverty and improve the ability of many to engage in productive economic activity. Our third priority for 2021 is to forge ahead with the renewal of our movement, the African National Congress. Although progress has been made since our 54th conference, we have yet to give full and decisive effect to this matter of implementing our resolution on rebuilding and renewing our organization. During the course of this year, we will continue to focus on the vital task of building unity of purpose and unity in action. This unity must be founded on a common commitment to the core values of the ANC and serving the people of South Africa. Unity cannot be used to shield those involved in wrongdoing from being held accountable. We are going to strengthen the ANC's Integrity Commission to enable it to act decisively without fear or favor to deal with corruption and wrongdoing in our ranks. We reiterate, as resolved by our national conference, that every member reported to be involved in corrupt practices should account to the Integrity Commission immediately or face disciplinary processes. Members who fail to give an acceptable explanation or to voluntarily step aside while they face disciplinary processes, investigative or prosecutorial processes will be summarily suspended. The NEC will soon finalize guidelines on the implementation of these resolutions of our conference. It is only if we stand united against corruption that we can restore the integrity of our movement. As we begin our campaigning for this year's election, we want to make it very clear: we will not tolerate members of the ANC who are involved in crooked practices like vote buying, branch list manipulation to secure positions or extending patronage to get votes. We call on all ANC members to be mindful that they represent an organization and not themselves. The fourth priority for 2021 is to work towards a better Africa and a better world. The grave conditions brought about by the coronavirus pandemic have not been faced by us as South Africans alone. The pandemic has disrupted global trade, investment, production, travel, and has also disrupted people's lives. Economies around the world have contracted and millions of jobs have been lost in many countries. Developing countries with few resources available to mount an effective health response have been the hardest hit. At the same time, this has been an unprecedented era of global cooperation and solidarity. especially intra-African solidarity. During our chairship of the African Union, South Africa has been instrumental in forging more effective collaboration amongst African countries in tackling economic effects of COVID-19. We have worked with other countries to develop effective health responses and ensure that all African countries have access to essential medical supplies and ultimately vaccines. We must continue to build on the cooperation that has been forged under the pandemic to deepen the ties of collaboration between the countries and regions of the world. The ANC affirms its commitment to meeting the aspirations of the African Union's Agenda 2063 of an integrated, united, prosperous, and peaceful continent. The ongoing conflicts in the Eastern DRC, the Sahel region, Somalia, Ethiopia, and northern Mozambique remain a major concern. They make the goal of silencing the guns more relevant and urgent. The support that we need to have is to advance the governance across our continent. We will also continue to use mechanisms of the African Union, the Pan-African Parliament, and regional bodies to achieve these goals. We will strengthen the Southern African Development Community, SADC, as a powerful instrument for economic integration, development, and stability in our own region. The pandemic presents an opportunity to set the global economy along a more sustainable, environmentally friendly, low carbon, and climate change resilient developmental pathway. To this end, recovery strategies must be aligned to the Paris Agreement to combat climate change, the UN Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development, and other multilateral environmental agreements. The countries of Africa need to be united in support of multilateralism and in the reform of global institutions such as the United Nations Security Council to ensure that they represent the interests of Africa and the developing world. The ANC welcomes the coming into operation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area on the 1st of January 2021. The Africa Continental Trade Area heralds a new era of African integration, development, and progress. Importantly, it will enable African countries to benefit from their own natural resources and reduce their dependence on countries outside of the continent for manufactured goods and services. Economic empowerment of women in Africa is critical not only to gender equality, but also to Africa's overall economic development. We will continue to push for the preferential procurement for women and favorable trade arrangements. We remain firm in our conviction that Africa is rich in potential. Our continent is rich in human capital, in its youth dividend, in its resources, in its environmental endowment, and in its location. Despite the weaknesses in the world economy, Africa is on the threshold of a new era of integration, growth, prosperity, and development. It is more important than ever for the ANC to forge ahead with the task of building progressive alliances, particularly on the African continent. We will deepen efforts to build relations with fraternal progressive organizations on the continent and in other parts of the world to forge a developmental agenda that prioritizes the needs of the poor and marginalized. The ANC will continue to prioritize the African agenda and enhancing Africa's status in the global community. Comrades and friends, the renewal and unity of the ANC is a critical enabler for all these noble dreams and plans of transformation. We have therefore identified several organizational tasks for the ANC in 2021. We must renew ANC branches as centers for community development and transformation. Without strong local organization and mobilization, transformation that we so need will continue to remain elusive. We must therefore continue to build branches that must be true agents for change. We must also deepen cadre development and mass political education. We need to instill a culture of revolutionary discipline in all our structures, starting with the adherence by all members.
Revolutionary
Their
discipline.
oath of membership to the ANC. We must strengthen the leagues and the alliance. We need to engage young people of our country more actively and directly and ensure that they are able to participate in the programs of the ANC Youth League. We must intensify our support for the Women's League and the Veterans League so that they can play their role within our movement and across society. As we celebrate the centenary of the South African Communist Party, we appreciate the role of the party and its contribution to the strength and ideological advancement of the alliance. We reaffirm our strong alliance with COSATU, and we will continue to promote the unity of all veterans of Umkhonto weSizwe and ensure that the challenges facing military veterans in our country are effectively addressed. We will hold a National General Council, and this National General Council must enhance renewal and unity of our movement. The NGC will be held in a few months and must help us to review progress that we have made since the National Conference and address challenges facing our nation. It must serve as a platform to build unity of purpose around the ongoing task of renewal. We must work to a decisive mandate in the local government elections. Building on the gains that we have made in recent by-elections, we must reach every voter and engage those not yet registered to convince them that the ANC remains the best instrument for strong development at the local government level.
No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely does not.
Communication and social mobilization during this year. And the ANC must, in action, show that it has determination, also show the integrity and commitment to steer the program of social transformation in our country. We will build social cohesion towards a non-racial and non-sexist society. The ANC must continue to lead the struggle against racism, ethnic chauvinism, patriarchy, and all forms of intolerance. We must intensify efforts to bridge the historical divide among South Africans. We need to address the way in which access to wealth, land, education, employment, and opportunity remains skewed according to race, gender, and class. This requires that the ANC works with all
Get rid of BE.
society to change the structure of the economy to allow for broader participation by Black people, women, the youth, and those in rural areas. We must build an inclusive economy that allows everyone to prosper.
It's called a free market.
One of our tasks is to advance the African agenda. The ANC remains firmly rooted amongst the progressive forces of the world, and it must continue to advance the African agenda, especially as the historic African continental free trade area comes into effect. Inspired by the creed of Pan-Africanism, we must work with progressive forces to pursue the African Union's Agenda 2063 and the achievement of a more just, equitable world order. We will work to modernize the ANC and ensure that the ANC becomes financially sustainable. This is an important task.
Bands the
We
earth
must
again,
continue to improve and
and you'll get
modernize
the money you need.
our core organizational systems, such as the new membership system, branch functionality, our administration, election campaign capacity, communications, research, fundraising, as well as the monitoring and evaluation of the work that we do. Comrades and friends, over the past year, many South Africans have lost their lives. These include fellow citizens who have succumbed to COVID-19. We remember these loved ones, and we share the loss felt by family members, by colleagues, by neighbors, and by friends. The ANC too has lost many veterans. We've lost stalwarts and activists of our struggle over the past year. Prominent among those that we have lost this past year, are Izitwalandwe Diaparangwe, Comrade Andrew Mlange, Comrade Dennis Goldberg, Comrade John Kadime. As we honor their courage,
What about Collins Koza,
and selfless service to our
Brendan
people,
Horner?
it is up to us,
Still
as
not
the
saying those
ANC
names, huh?
of today, to ensure that the ideals that inspired their lives continue to guide our every action. As we confront both as a movement and as a country, the greatest health crisis in more than a century, we should draw on our rich history of struggle and solidarity. It was not long after the formation of the ANC in 1912 that the world was struck by the flu pandemic of 1918. Reflecting on that pandemic, one of the founders of the ANC, Comrade Cyril, hoped that such an epidemic would create a new spirit of brotherhood and of sisterhood amongst all South Africans, irrespective of race and social status. Over the past year, the people of South Africa have demonstrated that such a spirit is possible and is present amongst us. Let us ensure that as we rebuild our economy and our society, and as we strive to build a South Africa that belongs to all who live in it, we harness that spirit of unity, cohesion, and solidarity. In recognition of the ideals that inspired the formation of our movement, the mandate set by the 54th National Conference and the task arising from the current environment, the National Executive Committee, in issuing this statement, declares the theme for 2021 to be unity, renewal, and reconstruction in the year of Charlotte Maxeke. Let freedom reign. Amandla, The ANC lives, the ANC leads. I thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, before you go anywhere, please, for those of you who are new to this channel, please subscribe. And also, in closing, for you, Mr. President, I figured I'd get everyone to say all at once, hashtag or Voetsek ANC. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1, wherever you are, please say Voetsek ANC. Right? There you go. Everybody's saying it. Everybody agrees. You know, there's Cyril with Cyril Ramasaurus with a bit of tears in his eyes, you know, after eating a BS burger. You can see there's some residue there on his side, you know. Yes, everyone commenting as well. All right, so I have decided while I'm watching this, because there's so much that he said that I disagree with on so many levels, I'm going to do a review, sort of his speech, where I'm basically going to call him out on the bullshit. And yeah, I'll release it because I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't watch the speech. I'm sure there's a ton of people actually that didn't watch the speech. They don't care. So I'm going to make a nice little 5 to 10 minute video showing the craziness. I mean, he's blatantly now saying it's for everybody. That's like they know people don't watch. They know people don't watch. And he's saying things like, you know, oh, our greatest ally or our ally is the Communist Party. I mean, that alone right there should worry anyone who knows anything about communism. How terrible communism is. I mean, Russia tried it. Millions died. Venezuela is one of the most recent victims to trying communism, as well as Zimbabwe. But yet the South African Communist Party it's one of its greatest allies. This should worry people. Not to mention the lies about these false promises. How long has the ANC been promising, oh, we're going to fix poverty this time. Oh, we're going to fix this sometime. Oh, we're going to fix that. Oh, we're going to fix this. Oh, we're going to rebuild. Right? Of course, now they use the pandemic as reason as to why things have been stalled. And like, oh, no, we haven't been promising this for like 10 years or 20 years or even 26 years. No, no, no. You know, these promises were quite recent because of the COVID-19, you know, pandemic. Kind of put a monkey wrench. So now we gotta take opportunity and revamp everything. We gotta restart everything, right? Bull. And what is even scarier, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here as well, is that they are going to implement EWC. Now, everyone keeps on saying, well, you know, the regulations this year are different. Or not this year, but this time are different. Oh, no, it's not going to be like Zimbabwe. It's better now. It's better now. It'll work this time. It'll work this time. Let me tell you something. As long as they are backed by the SA Communist Party, EWC should worry you if it is backed by a communist movement. And it probably, that's the only reason that there would be. In the most successful countries in the world, there is no such thing as expropriation without compensation. It doesn't exist. It is an infringement on your right to property. And the sooner people realize that, the better. We could be in very big trouble if that gets passed this year. Very big trouble. And I'm not being an alarmist. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm trying to put some reality into the naysayers that say, oh, no, it's going to be different this time. It'll work this time. No, it's not. This is all, they're just keeping with the theme, guys. Let's make ourselves rich. Let's create an even bigger divide between the classes, between the haves and the have-nots. And when shit goes, like, gets real, or when the chips fall and everyone's pretty much dying, all these guys, they're just going to move. They're just going to leave. They're going to go to Saudi Arabia. They're going to go somewhere else. We've seen it time and time again. Anyway, this is stuff that will probably include in my little review. Expect it within the next few days. and please share it when it comes onto the channel. Please share it. People need to know. I'll back it up with some facts. I'll do a bit of research. Yeah, I think people need to hear, because I'm a little bit scared, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Some of that stuff that he said, yeah, there was a bit of fluff. As in, yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and we're gonna enrich the poverty and we're gonna take care of the poverty problem. We're gonna empower our women. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Yeah, the crime needs to stop. That needs to stop. When was the last time we looked at the crime statistic, guys? We should probably get on that. You know, I think it's time to fix the poverty too. You know, 26 years our voters have been waiting for us to fix the poverty problem. Let's do it now. This is the perfect opportunity right now when we have this pandemic. It's perfect. It's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get all the money. Let's find a way to get the rich people to give us money. Yeah, let's do that. EWC, that sounds like a really good idea, doesn't it? Yeah. I know. Mugabe told me over a beer once it was a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, no, he really benefited. Idiots. Sorry. I haven't been on the stage in a while. In a very, very long time. Yeah. Thank you, Bradley. People do not understand that the word property is anything a person owns. Money, car, home, property. Anything that you own is property. Yes, that's by the constitutional definition. That's correct. Oh, when they banned the cigarettes. When they loot everything, where do you think that 570 odd billion rand, that's already been put to one side, you know, maybe. So they took maybe, you know, a little bit out of that. So yeah. Does it sound like Kermit? Okay, good. Then I can do a Kermit impression. I didn't know that. Yes, and that is true. Yeah. Yeah, we should. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, let me also say thank you to everybody who became a member. Mark, I did see you. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Deborah, thank you so much for giving 140 Rand super chat. And to everybody else who super chatted, as well as Koptok, I think her name is, also contributed a bit of super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats this evening. I know that was tough to watch. I'm glad I did, because there's some important information that I'm sure a lot of people, I mean, I can hear now. I live in a complex area. Everybody's buying. Nobody was listening at all. Nobody gives a damn about what the president has to say, especially for the birthday of the ANC. And that's one of the problems I think South Africa has. And I was there maybe 2-3 years ago, where the confidence level in the government is so bad that the public doesn't care about what the government says. And rightfully so, I understand that. But at the same time, it's like they're kind of telling you what they want to do. And if we don't wake up, if we don't start realizing like, hey, something's happening, guys, something's happening. We gotta, you know, focus. It might be too late. And then everybody, those that don't want to be involved with politics, or don't want to, you know, take a moment to watch, before they know it, they'll be like, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? Why do you think so many people are leaving? Because they see the warning signs. You know, so many people I've spoken to are planning to leave. It's a scary thought, guys. It's a scary thought. Anyway, I won't take up any much of your Friday evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much for the super chats. Don't forget, please become a member if you haven't yet. And I will see you guys soon. Like I said, I'll have a video out soon, hopefully, about this. And yeah, thank you all so much for keeping me company. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the little images, our little friends, our little guests that were somewhat keeping us entertained. Anyway, cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If I don't see you before Monday, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.